It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily with positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
All right, I hope you guys are hungry. Not that we're going to be feeding you, but we're going to be talking about some delicious food because our guest for this week on Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington is private chef, Chef Mitzi Jackson, currently in Philadelphia or working in Philadelphia. And Mitzi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. So I love what you do, and I'm fortunate that I've had the chance to taste some of your food and your specifically burgers that you make. But you work with NFL, NBA, college. You're all over the spectrum in terms of the clients that you work with. Tell us a little bit about your work beyond just what I just spoiled, but all that you do as a chef.
Well, actually, I'm currently a private chef at the University of Pennsylvania for the Delta Psi fraternity. So I handle all of their private events with the alumni, with the fraternity. And I cook for about 50 guys every single day. And it's fantastic. It's been rewarding, and they're super nice guys. As well as cooking for, and I don't say just players, I say families, because, you know, when I'm working with the players, I'm actually working with their wives and their children if they have them too, and it's really just a family atmosphere. So I've been very fortunate to work with the Charlotte Hornets players in North Carolina, and now that I am in Philly, I've had the opportunity to work with Brandon and his wife Carlin, as well as Malcolm and his wife Marissa. So very rewarding, and I just absolutely love it. But not just even with the players, with you know, everyday regular clients too. I had a very awesome experience with one of the leaders at UPS recently, which, you know, she lost over 15 pounds in 2 months with just the proper diet. So no exercise. So it was really fantastic for her and for me, and probably one of the best clients that I have ever had that, you know, wasn't, you know, a player, just body goals and, you know, nutrition goals that really played out for her, and she lost actually 2 dress sizes, so it was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, something I love about what you do as a chef is not only are you preparing nutritious meals, but they're delicious too. You know, I feel like a lot of times when people think of quote-unquote dieting or changing their meal, the types of meals that they eat, it's just the idea that you're going to have, you know, a piece of salad on your plate with, like, nothing else and just maybe a little dressing, like that stereotype that to eat healthy is to not eat, you know. But you specialize in whether it's a dinner, catering, you know, whatever it may be, but something that fits for the athlete and their family or in the fraternity at UPenn, but is also just amazing to eat. We'll have your taste buds.
Yeah, I try.
What are your focuses, you know, in terms of foods that you really specialize in?
Well, actually, I was trained at Johnson Wales University in French and Southern cuisine, but since then I've really expanded my spectrum a lot. And I actually try to cook food, you know, for the client, depending upon what they're looking for. I take a consultative approach with the client. We sit down, we talk about their likes, dislikes, what their body weight goals are, if they have any, all of that, just to make sure that they're actually eating what they want. And like you said, I'm not forcing a diet upon anybody. You know, my goal is that you actually enjoy the food that you're eating. So most of the time what I'll do is I will get the client's current weight and just talk to them about what their weight goal is. And then we count calories a lot, you know, and I go with a plan that I call the 80-20 plan, which is 80% of the time you're really watching what you're eating and you're really putting a focus on what you're putting into your body. And the other 20% of the time, you are really just chowing down and enjoy, what you're eating. So if you want to have, an occasional slice of pizza, or if you want to have, a half of a cheesesteak on the weekend or whatever you want to do, I just tell you to take it all in stride. Know what your calorie count is and when you're overeating, but actually, take the time to indulge every now and again too.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, those, to me, it seems like lifestyle changes that are small and make sense. It's not an extreme change. And as you mentioned, it's not dieting. It's just kind of, what are your goals and how can we achieve them? Which, in a sense, you're like their coach, their mentor, their, motivator, and then, of course, preparing meals for them that are delicious and satisfying. So, I mean, what are you really working on now? I know you're very busy. You're constantly expanding, your clientele and what you do. What are you working on now?
Well, and I want to touch back really quickly on, I do work on, and this is one of my goals too, is just if you do have something specific, if you do want a specific diet, like the ketogenic diet, like I recently had one of the players' wives talk about, what do you know about the keto diet? Can you do that? So I do, if you, say, I've got a specialized thing that I want to work on, I can actually, work with you on that too. It's just totally client-focused. But to answer your question, one thing I'm really excited about, which is something I've never really, done before, is me and Marissa Jenkins are actually working on a CBD dinner, to which the meals will be CBD infused. So we are really,
okay. That is definitely new.
It's new. And we are looking to really do something different, within the Philadelphia area. So that's going to be something that we will be doing sometime in the late fall or winter. So look out for that. But really, it's going to be really exciting. And what a lot of people don't know is that, certain percentages are okay, to infuse within the food and to actually indulge. And we think it'll be a fun time. So we're really excited about that.
That sounds like a great project.
Yeah, it's going to be a great project. And just really focusing on, the athletes and just my craft in general. Coming up with different recipes, so you're not eating the same thing over and over again, and just really focusing on fit meals too. And I am also working on a book as well. So, and I don't know if I told you.
Very nice.
We even talked about it, but we didn't talk about that. But we are, I launched my brand in Philadelphia last year, Twist Philly, and so that went really well. And so I'm just really focusing on that and just, trying to build a brand, but, also coming up with more recipes for my clients and just kind of building the brand and getting the name out in Philadelphia. So that's kind of been my goals over the past year.
Right. So definitely, listeners, make sure that you're on the lookout for Chef MJ's book that's coming out. I'm excited for that, and I'm happy for all that you're doing. It definitely, with you launching your brand and expanding it, you can see how you're growing in what you're doing. But for you, do you have a dish that you just love making? Whether you love making it or you love eating it, do you have a favorite dish, any favoritism in terms of your go-to dish you enjoy making the most?
People ask me that all the time, but no, not really. I mean, I specialize in Southern and French cooking, which, when you kind of combine those two, they're almost one and the same. I just consider French cooking, Southern cooking elevated, so to speak. But no, I mean, if someone came to me, quite honestly, and said, I don't care what you prepare, I just want it to be good. I'll give you an example. I just did a cookout. It was a going-away party for some guys over in President City, over off City Line Avenue. And they said to me, forget all that nutritious stuff. We don't want any quinoa. We don't. We just want to like really eat and really enjoy ourselves, and we don't care what you put in it. And so I was actually able to make all this great Southern food for a cookout, and everybody.
Wow.
So we had curry and Caribbean dishes, and we had macaroni and cheese, and we had collard greens, and just all these really great Southern dishes. Infused sweet potato infused cornbread. I mean, all these things that we had, and it was so good. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, backtrack. You can't just casually say that again. Sweet potato infused cornbred? Why have I never eaten that before?
Oh,
that
man,
sounds amazing.
It's cornbread on another level. It's like, your grandma makes the cornbread and you put the honey butter on it, and it's really good. Well, this had an actual sweet potato yam butter, and it actually was brushed over the cornbread, and it's just so delicious. And so I guess in answering that question, cooking for a client that says there's no restraint is probably just my most favorite thing to do, because I'm always cooking with restraint. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just cannot get over sweet potato infused cornbread. I actually ironically had cornbread in my, not just for dinner, but it was part of my dinner that I had Sunday night that would have been. And it was who doesn't love cornbread? So now I'm just my mind is wandering, what would that taste like? It just and I mix my food to begin with, so I feel like words can't do it justice.
Yeah, I'll have to make you, at the tasting, I actually did a collard green infused cornbread.
What?
And we had the yam butter on top. And it was just one of the most popular things. And so I said, if I ever open a restaurant in Philadelphia, I'll have to bring the collard green infused cornbread.
Yes, please. Now, where did you get the inspiration for this? I mean, I think maybe I just don't know about it. Is this something that I'm missing out on that is a popular to have that I just missed, or is this something that you kind of created yourself?
Actually, no. Me and one of my good friends, he's a chef as well, Chef Amani Koklo. Shout out to Amani. Used to work together in North Carolina. And he and I did all these great brunches, and we came up with all these recipes. So I have to say that the collard green infused cornbread muffin is something that followed me from the South to Philadelphia. But I have not seen it here, and I'm excited to actually bring these different types of Southern fusion, to the North. So I've got all kinds of ideas brewing, for things because that's one of the things that I like to do when I'm having fun, is to actually take something basic, and turn it into something that, people have never had before. So that's kind of the goal with Twist Philadelphia, is to have all these great Southern dishes, but to put my own little flair on it.
Right.
So that
I love that.
Me.
Yeah, you're creating your own signature dishes, that people will come specifically looking for you and your business to be able to eat that. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, so tell us more about Twisted Philadelphia.
So Twist Philadelphia is my brand. Like I said, I launched it last year, and that was a tasting. I think, and I definitely plan on having another one very soon, probably once the fall hits and everybody gets back from the shore. That's one thing about being in the North. You got to wait for everyone to get back from the shore and vacationing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's just really taking different types of things, different types of dishes, and, turning it into something that people have never had before, like taking a basic cheeseburger, adding cheddar cheese, but then putting a corn fritter on top. Or, one of the things that we did at the tasting was we did a buffalo chicken cheeseburger called the Double Down. So it was a grass-fed beef, mushrooms, because I like, putting a twist on things, like adding the mushroom to the burger, makes it substantial, and it it's less fattening, so to speak, because you're putting a vegetable in there that you normally wouldn't have inside the burger. So, and also, making the burger more sustainable. So we took mushrooms, we took grass-fed beef, and we actually infused that together. Then we put the buffalo chicken on top, and you've had that burger, actually. I think that was one of the burgers that you had. Yeah.
Oh, that burger was good.
Yeah, at your tasting. And so just doing different things, like, and also looking out for the vegetarian as well. I've got several dishes that we proposed, for the vegetarian, like quinoa burgers, buffalo chicken quinoa burgers. We're doing black bean burgers, doing just all kinds of honey glaze. We did a honey glazed tofu with arugula and quinoa. So just coming up with these different recipes for vegetarians too that maybe they wouldn't, have the opportunity to eat. So that's the goal too, is to, when people come to eat a good Southern meal, that they also have more vegetarian options than just having, just the vegetables in itself. Because a lot of times when you go to a soul food restaurant, if you're a vegetarian, all you can have is a salad, or all you can have is the vegetables that are offered that day. So we want to be able to have, different things on the menu for the vegetarian and or vegan client as well. So that's the goal with Twist Philly.
I love that. I love that. Twist Philly. Oh, my goodness. That sounds amazing. And definitely something worth checking out. So where can our listeners, either if they're unable to get to you in the area to taste your food, where can they at least follow along to see what you're cooking and what you're up to?
Well, they can go, obviously, to any social media outlet. They can go to Instagram, which is MJ_the chef. I do have a website, and that website is chefmjmc.simdiff.com. They can also go to Facebook, and it's just simply Chef Mitzi Jackson on Facebook. And all of those channels have my contact information. And I'm available for smaller private dinners. It doesn't have to be a huge affair, and it doesn't have to be that you just want to have a fit meal consultation. It can be that, you're having an anniversary or a birthday or whatever the case may be, and you want to hire a private chef. So we are available. We are expanding. I've got other great chefs that I'm working with to train them on the type of food that I've learned. And I do want to say that I welcome mentorships. I want to give back. So if there are aspiring chefs out there and you're in the area, even not in the area, and you're looking just to have some inspiration, or you're not quite sure where your next steps are, please feel free to reach out to me as well.
Definitely. And, guys, I definitely recommend reaching out to Chef MJ. Check out our website, chefmjnc.simdiff.com. And you will not be disappointed, I can tell you that. There are a lot of people out there. I take my food very seriously because I'm a very picky eater. And MJ, your food, there was not a single thing that I did not like, which is hard for me. I'm very, like I said, I'm very picky. So I hope that you continue to succeed and break down barriers in your growth with what you're doing, because you are very talented, and the food that you put out and the clientele that's growing shows all of that. So thank you so much for joining us this week on Beyond the Headlines, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it's time for me to cook for you again, so we'll have to talk about that offline.
Yes.